Jeff is right, the deck is bad. God bless you, Stinger. Yeah, in my experience, having a store sponsor you just means they're going to give you some money when you manage to get on camera with their logos. And even that, I'm kind of confused why that's valuable to them. I never understood shops that sponsor players for like random PT streams. Like, there is way more visibility in sponsoring random Twitch streamers or like doing any kind of real advertising rather than like putting shirts on people that might never make it onto camera or do well. I think I'm obligated to Thoughtseize here because I just like lose. Oh my god. Oh, glad I footed black. I just like lose to a Blood Moon, right? Actually, can I even beat Ponza with this deck? This is like the exact type of matchup that Ponza devours. Oh, good. They have 2 Blood Moons. Good. That sets the mood for the. That sets the mood for the. All right, take two. Take 2. Everybody can check concedes entire match game 1 off your bingo cards. That was about to be less winnable than Tron. Does that count as you conceding to Blood Moon? Hey, that was turn 2. My Creeping Tar Pit came into play, tap chat. Bant Friends would have just tucked Moon. Thank you, Captain Gwen. That's actually one of the reasons why I really like the Bant Friends list, is because of the Sakura Tribe Elders. It's able to interact with cards like Blood Moon and play through it much better than most of these 3-color non-red decks. Blood Moon is a big part of why these 3-color non-red decks are very bad in Modern a lot of the time, because in addition to having tough matchups in particular spots, you just like auto lose to people that want to show up with Blood Moon almost every time. Yes, when I say auto lose, occasionally you're going to get lucky and slog through, but most of the time you're just up a creek without a paddle. Love to keep. Nope. I think Modern is a very poorly designed card, and the people that go through mental gymnastics to try and defend why it should be legal in Modern are obnoxious. Now, if you said to me you enjoy casting Blood Moon and you enjoy making people not actually get to play a game of Magic, more power to you. You're being honest with yourself. But Blood Moon is a poorly designed Magic card that creates games where one player never gets to make any relevant choices, and I think that makes it a bad Magic card to have in the format. I play Magic to allow myself and my opponent to interact with each other and have relevant decisions, and Blood Moon just like shuts that off for entire archetypes. I think I just take these Helixes here, right? Because they're going to pressure my Planeswalkers, and I like my Planeswalkers. And there's the classic parrot, no thought, I can't think for myself. But Jeff, Blood Moon only punished you because you have a greedy 3-color mana base. As someone who's played a lot of decks in Modern, I've been Blood Mooned out of games where I'm playing a 2-color deck. Fuck, I've been Blood Mooned out of games where I'm playing a 2-color deck and one of my fucking colors is red. Play enough Modern, it's gonna happen pretty often. It's gonna happen pretty often. You got a $10 donation there. Legacy deck for the queue. Thank you, Mr. Photon, for the donation. I appreciate that. We'll get that after today's stream is done. I've been Blood Moon playing Mono Blue, yep. Like, if you've Play some blue-white control sometimes. Blue-white control, the 2-color modern deck that has, I don't know, usually 6 to 10 basics in it. That deck frequently gets fucking Blood Mooned out of the game. Frequently. I've won multiple Miracle Spears with Blood Moon. Yep. And again, it's okay to enjoy casting Blood Moon. It's okay to say, hey, I like when my opponent doesn't get to play Magic. But I think it's obnoxious or disingenuous to try and sell yourself on this argument that what Blood Moon does is healthy, or what it does is necessary, or that it only punishes greed. It doesn't do those things. It punishes people that got exceptionally unlucky, by and large is what it does. Blood Moon, 2R sorcery, roll a 6-sided die. If you roll a 1, you lose the game. Yeah. It's effectively what it is a lot of the time. Yep, so they drew a Helix here. I assume they're probably gonna have like a Snap Helix or another burn spell here for Liliana, which will be okay for us if they kill Liliana here, because that should give us an opening to stick this Nissa, Steward of the Elements. Banning 8th edition from Modern is a really elegant solution that I like a lot. I'm gonna start with this, see what they do. My favorite stories are when people, like when you walk up to a match and 2 players both had the same hate cards in play. I was watching, it was a Modern match, and it was an Affinity player and a Jeskai control player both had Blood Moon on the table. And it's just like, I looked down at them, I was just like, I thought to myself, I was like, all right, one of you really fucked up here. I don't know which one it is, but one of you is certainly wrong with this current board state. It's like, I don't know which one of you is more wrong, but it is certainly one of you. I think Giftstorm is, in my opinion, in what manner? My opinion in that, do I think it's healthy for the format, or what do I think about the power level of the deck in the format? It's kind of sweet. I wasn't sure how this Nissa was going to feel, but slipping another 3-mana Planeswalker in here is great. I think Storm is a very reasonable deck in Modern. I think it is a proactive deck that can regularly kill its opponent by the 3rd turn of the game, and it's hard to go too wrong in Modern with a proactive deck that can regularly kill its opponent by the 3rd turn. I think I'm just going top here, actually, right? I think so. I think from a power level standpoint, Storm's a fine deck for Modern, but I would ban Grape Shot in a heartbeat if it meant that I got to play Ponder and Preordain in Modern. If you told me we had to ban Grape Shot so we could have nice cantrips in Modern, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. Get rid of the Grape Shot and I would like some nice cantrips, please. I wonder if they have a Snapcaster here. If they have a Snapcaster here, they could play it in response and then bolt the Liliana. Sweet. So we have Jace plus Liliana on empty board. And then I think I actually don't want the Creeping Tar Pit on top of my deck at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and plus this so it doesn't die to a bolt and bottom this Tar Pit. So honestly, Mage, when I think about the things that are currently banned in Modern and some of the things that aren't, I almost feel like WotC kind of changed their ban list philosophy at some point during Modern, but like after they changed their ban list philosophy, they didn't revisit the cards that were currently banned. How much dollar value is on the field right now? I don't know. It's a good question. They have a Logic Knot here. So let's plus this, get the card out of their hand. Spell Queller, interesting. Okay. Okay. If they would have bounced my Liliana in response to the discard, I would have cracked the Spellbomb and we would have been fine. Do I just bounce this? Nah, I'm just gonna brainstorm. Never forget, chat, when your choices are draw cards or not draw cards, always never forget that drawing cards is almost certainly correct. Huh. Huh. Probably just want to draw Misty Rainforest, right? You go put this back, play this, pass the turn. And I think I just want to shuffle these, so that way I can try and find a way to kill the Spell Queller. Oh, I guess I had the Lily on board to kill the Spell Queller. Gitaxian Probe is the second worst design Magic card in the last decade. And it's only trailing Mental Misstep. I think I'm just gonna crack this. But Misstep counters Probe. Skull Clamps from over a decade ago at this point, right? I'm pretty sure Skull Clamps from over a decade ago at this point. I guess I should have done this last turn, huh? I could have had a Scavenging Ooze in play. Those are some toys. Gosh, are we done here yet, opponent? Are we done here? What are you doing with yourself over there? What are you doing with this? How about I Edict you, and then I play this Tireless Tracker, and I draw 2 cards with it, and I play this Scavenging Ooze. It's gonna turn your stuff off, and gosh, I can barely contain. The Candyman is here, chat. The Candyman is here. The Candyman can, cause he kisses it and makes the world taste good. Kisses it is definitely not the lyrics. I definitely missed part of the lyrics there, but definitely makes the world taste good is part of the lyrics. So we like partially got there. The Candyman certainly can, though. He brings all of the delicious candy with him. I feel like I need to get a bunch of clues altered to be pieces of candy. Mixes it with love. Yeah, kisses, mixes. That's close. That's close phonetically. Oh no! They've bolted my Tireless Tracker, chat! How will I ever recover from this severe card disadvantage? Oh no! Oh no! How will I ever keep up now? There's a good chance I'm not even supposed to play that. They probably have a sweeper in their main deck. I'm a big fan of straight green-black midrange. Tomorrow, I'm going to put together a Jund deck with 4 Tireless Trackers to try out for the first time. I think there's probably a lot of potential there as well. Guess who came to grind, opponent? This guy right here. All right, so I'd like a Liliana. I would like Fulminator Mages. I think I want this Maelstrom Pulse. Probably want these Counter Squalls. I might want this. They usually have Verdict Post board. I think I'm trimming. I guess I don't want to trim all of my removal because they have what's it called? They have Spell Quellers. Kalitas probably isn't quite good enough. I don't think E is very good. Pulse of Murasa rebuys our threats. Maybe that's not good enough. I like gaining random bits of health in this matchup just because my opponent can burn us out on occasion. I do not only wear Mack Weldon clothes. I'm actually wearing Mack Weldon clothes right now. This t-shirt is a Mack Weldon t-shirt. Now, I think Brutality is a little narrow. Jeskai is by and large a burn deck. That is correct. They are very comfortable. I don't know what I want to trim here. I'm gonna just cut these spell bombs. I think they just don't do enough. They just don't do enough. Kalitas! Kalitas, get in here! In here, Kalitas, gotta run them down. I could maybe even see an argument that against the Spell Queller based Jeskai deck, I might not want Collective Brutality. No Planeswalkers actually have the Legendary border. If you even go look at like Teferi and the Planeswalkers from the latest set, they don't have the Legendary border. Because for whatever reason, Wizards of the Coast rebranded Planeswalkers as Legendary and then made a change to Legendary cards, but then didn't make that change to Planeswalkers because fuck consistency. Oops. Oops. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Basic Swamp. This is just take the logic knot, right? Like, not close. The vulgarity! He's a monster! He said no words! My mama told me I'm not supposed to say words like that! This is gonna be a breeding pool for Tarmogoofy. You're currently watching a Magic the Gathering stream. I would believe that they are virgin ears. All right. Was that too close to home for some people? Was that uncouth? Oh, yeah, children come from a stork, chat. That is definitely the truth. So they have Bolt, Path, EE, and then one card I don't know. They shocked in the Steam vents. I think I want to just cast the Serum Visions. It smells like Spell Queller, right? This is just like a bottom here. Bottoms up. Maybe they have like a Snapcaster or another Logic Knot there, perhaps. I'm glad I have proof that I've had sex at least 3 times. Look, if you only had sex 3 times to get 3 kids, that's good shooting. That's a good ratio. Good, clean ratio right there. That's just efficiency. So I get to pulse back my thing here. So they have EE Path, one card I don't know at this point. They want to just Fulminator Mage them? I think I actually just want to pass here Just like pulse back my tracker at their end step, plus like crack this clue, I think. Now I'll probably fetch a shock land, pulse back the tracker. Well, now I can do both. Right, so we have to fetch a basic. Do I even want it? Or fetch a shock land? I probably don't even want to fetch a shock with this Misty since I got the tracker back, right? Yeah, I probably just want to wait. It's probably a good idea. Can chat get you demonetized? I don't think so. Maybe? We can surely try. So here's the key. Don't blink first. You want your opponent to spend their removal on your Tireless Tracker, and then you respond to their removal by cracking your fetch lands. That way you get the clue. Whereas if I am proactive and crack my fetch land, my opponent will kill it in response, and then I won't get my clue. So this tracker not only drew us a card, but it also got us a land out of our deck, which is quite excellent. I do mean a piece of candy. The candy man delivers. It's so tasty. It's so tasty. Show me the candy. Show me the candy. Show me the candy. How much do I want to dismember? Probably not a lot. I think I'm just going to burn the Abrupt Decay here. The candy emote's new, to be fair. I don't think I tweeted about the candy emote. I don't remember. You have like a negate here they're going to burn. It's a little awkward. I want to slam the Nissa here. Well, now I don't really want to slam the Nissa because they have a threat. I just say if I slam the Nissa, they get to draw a land. Oh, but I guess, okay, so now I'm actually going to slam the Nissa because they have the Gear Hulk in their hand. Because if they draw an untapped land and use their Colonnade to attack the Nissa, I then get to play Liliana the Veil and use her to plus to take the Torrential Gear Hulk out of their hand. This is an easy bottom. Man, that was like a draw too. When I'm about to ask a dumb question and then Jeff conditioning saves me from a timeout. Because I didn't know what the context of their hand was, and this is a matchup where I could easily get burned out. So I think being a little bit conservative by health total is valuable. They also have 2 Celestial Colonnades in play right now, and Dismember can kill a Celestial Colonnade while Abrupt Decay can't. Serum Visions Nissa plus Nissa Steward of the Elements is a pretty decent combo. Am I going bottom here? Huh, you know what I'm actually gonna do here? I'm gonna go top. I'm gonna go bottom top for now. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this Fulminator Mage. Actually, I'm just gonna correct this fetch land. So I'm gonna plus this Nissa. Is that good? No, that's probably a bad line. I don't know what I want to do here. This Gear Hulk is really annoying. So I'm gonna start by plussing here and see where we get. I don't really want either of these. There's like more things that play to the board, I think. So I think I want to play this Fulminator Mage and then Stone Rain a Colonnade and then see what they do with their Torrential Gear Hulk. Yeah, what Wannabe Beetle said, sorry, I missed a message. Please don't use serious diseases and compare them to a children's base card game. AIDS, cancer, things like that. Just eliminate those things from your vocabulary when you're referring to things in a children's card game. It's really kind of obnoxious and very insensitive. It's like those are things that like ruin people's lives and like literally kill people. So like comparing things in a card game to them is very, very rude and short-sighted. All right, so I'm killing the Colonnade. I think the way my hand's lined up, I need to just do this. So that way next turn I can like play this Liliana and Edict the Gear Hulk off the table. So I can play this. If they activate their Colonnade in response to the Edict, I get to Dismember it, which is, you know, part of the reason why we saved the Dismember. And now I just get to pass the turn here. I don't care if you're a diabetic, Turk and Duncan. Let's avoid comparing diseases to Magic the Gathering stuff. Do I even want to plus Liliana here? I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't. I think I just want to like Grim Flayer pass. Another counterspell? The Logic Knot? It's a little brutal. I'm gonna snap Serum Visions here then. Yeah, I think I just want to get the Snapcaster down this turn so I can start pressuring my opponent. And, like, Visions can hopefully help us find more action here. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I'm not going to trade a card in my hand for nothing here. I don't think I want to tick up now. If they draw an untapped land, they just get to eat my Liliana, so I don't think that's worthwhile. I'm going to wait until they have a card here like this. I'm going to attack with this before I do anything. Definitely want to do this before they could Cryptic Command me. Sure. Yep. Good sequencing on the opponent's part here. So I'm going to play the Scavenging Ooze out and double activate it aggressively here. I guess I'm just going to single activate it. Yeah, I'm just going to play around a Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is like their best draw here, so I'm just going to make sure I leave that off. Once I untap with these, I can play around red removal anyways. This card is so good in Modern. It's very, very powerful. It's a big part of why these green-black X decks are good. Yeah, Verdict's definitely one of their better draws on this board. We're pretty all in on our creature-based disruption and don't have any planeswalkers going right now. Again, just like leaving up my last screen here so that way I can play around a Snapcaster Mage. So they're dead, right? I get to go ahead and eat 3 creatures here, or 4 creatures here and kill them. Are there 4 creatures in my bin? I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm 1 creature short. That's sad. I think I just let this happen. I think I'm just like okay with eating their land here. I don't think I want to. I'm going to cast the Liliana, but I'm not going to plus her for now. I think I want to hold this in case we draw a Tireless Tracker. Game's opponent. All right. 1-0 in matches that we've played. 1-1 in the league because we conceded to Panza. How's everyone doing? Everyone's having a good afternoon. Welcome. Hanging out, playing some Modern today. I'm going to finish up this league with Sultai Midrange. Then we're going to play some Monument Soul Sisters afterwards. Would it be possible today enough to see the Jundrock deck played today? I will play it tomorrow, Banksy. I haven't done the work, and I don't like building decks on stream because they always feel rushed, and I always end up forgetting something important. So I wasn't expecting to play the deck today, so I didn't put in the legwork and actually build the deck, which is why there's not a thing in the queue. So after today, I think it'll actually be at the top of the Modern. It'll be JAC and then Jundrock, so tomorrow we'll definitely play it. And normally I'm not one to refuse money, but it's just, you know, the reason why I picked this one and the Monument Sisters over, even though they're a little bit lower, is I just don't have it built. Yeah, this is normally my short day, but the fact that I was off yesterday means I'm going a little bit longer today. You willing to pick up a cut to the top for Kiki? I do actually have Kiki Healy updated, so yeah. Yeah, Kiki Healy. Oh, look, the Bogle player mulligan to nothing. Weird. Weird. Alright, well, we're going to take that one. And then next turn we'll go Serum plus Thoughtseize. No interest in trying that. That's not been my experience in the past with that archetype. I'm just playing this tapped. Nah, I'm just like digging for Liliana the Veil, right? Like Liliana the Veil ends them. Yeah, I'll probably update tonight because I did last. So my goal, my viewer numbers in the evening are worse just because there's no EU people that can watch then. So since I did evening last night, I'm gonna run late this afternoon. Kind of flip flop it instead of doing Wednesday night and Tuesday all day. I'm gonna do Tuesday night and Wednesday all day. A little flippy floppy. It's actually a pretty good draw. It's 100 to cut a deck into the current stream, chat. 50 pushes it to the top for the next day. So if you want to ship at 50, I'd be happy to do it tomorrow. So you're totally up to you. I think, again, I want to play this just because I want to try and get to my Liliana the Veil ASAP. Yeah, just like that. You can't assume that because a person, they aren't an EU citizen, even if you could confirm. Yep, Bob, that is exactly correct. Time for bad decisions. Oh no, what if they have... How many of these decks play fucking Dryad Arbor? How many of these decks play Dryad Arbor? Am I supposed to play around Dryad Arbor here? I almost feel like I have the tools to play... They all play Arbor in the main, right? 100% of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zero this to put the land into play. And I'm going to play this as a blocker. And then next turn we can go Liliana, Edict Jew, and Fatal Pusher, Dryad Arbor. I think we're in a spot that we can afford to play around it. Oh, yeah. Just the smartest, thinnest Magic the Gathering streamer on Twitch. Oh, baby. Oh, no. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. Damn it, Bobby. Yeah. Da, 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 da. This Magic game is tough. This Magic game is very, very hard. Let me tell you about being lucky, chat. It's great. Oh, you don't want to play Magic with me anymore, opponent? That's so sad. Why don't you want to play Magic anymore with me? Come back. Sweet. This deck's got a Golgari Charm in the board. And Engineered Explosives. Oh, you sent it manually. Got it. Perfect. We'll do Kiki Healy after this league then. So thank you. Thank you, Jad. I appreciate it. I was like, where's my notification? Yep, you're good. I see it. Languish, Damnation. Is Countersquall good? Countersquall might be okay, actually. Dismember's kind of medium. The Nihil Spellbombs are bad. I think this Grim Flayer is probably too slow. Last Hope is not good enough. Yeah, I think these Countersqualls might actually be okay. Languish versus Totem Armor works the way we want it to work. Have to go back to work. Please beat Bogles for me. Thank you, Tarmagusi. We're going to try our best. We're going to try our best. I think I'd rather have counter. I think hoping to surgical one of their Bogles is kind of narrow and bad. I think it's kind of narrow and bad. But, like, if they don't have Leyline, our hand disruption is really good. Trimming the hand disruption because they could have Leyline is like saying we should cut Liliana the Veil because they could have Leyline, which is just nonsense, right? I'm pretty confident saying that's nonsense. Honestly, I kind of want to keep this cast down in just because there's a good chance my opponent has like Godok Teague and stuff post board, and we need to kill their non-Bogles so we can edict the actual Bogles. All right, let's do this. That's true. That's true. Cast down doesn't kill Teague. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made, chat. Teagle's worth will be our undoing. You cannot cast down the Kiskun. Are you interactive, interactive, interactive? Are you interactive, opponent? You are not interactive because you have a ley line, but you don't have a land. Get fucked. Nice Bogles deck. Did you, please tell me you scried bottom? Yeah, they scried bottom too. Good. It's what you deserve. It's what you deserve. Bogles. Get out of here. When does my album come out, right? God, we're about to fucking lose this game, aren't we? We're about to eat shit and die, chat. Can you take, oh yeah. Oh yeah, never mind. Welcome to the party, damnation. Where you been all my life? Where you been all my life, damnation? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. Bogle. Because this is actually good. I didn't play Liliana in Plus here because I wanted to Abrupt Decay a totem armor. Nope, I wanted to do exactly this because I thought about how do I lose this game, and the answer to that question is they play a fucking totem armor. Kill your shitter. Kill your shitter. Do you have more shitters? Do you have more poopers? Do you have more poopers? Please be a spirit dancer. Please be a spirit dancer. God bless us. Everyone. Hey, Tino, nice line. Thank you. Thank you. Put my Tarmogoose into play and beat you to death with it. Tarmogoosey's coming. He's coming for you. He's coming. He's got hate in his eyes. Oh, no. Oh, no. Second Spirit Dancer might actually be a tough nut to crack here. We've not drawn a lot of spells this game, chat. We've not drawn a lot of spells so far. Wow, that's a lot of Spirit Dancers. We can't downtick, chat. They have a ley line. Yeah, I definitely think I attack. There's a good chance they can make this bigger than the Tarmogoyf. I just need to kill them. This game would be much easier if we could downtick. If they kill this Liliana, they're going after us, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Maelstrom Pulse. Maelstrom Pulse. We definitely could have downticked targeting ourselves. You're not wrong. The problem is this is a 9/9. Yeah, they had a path. So they just have another enchantment. So I have to chump block this turn and hope to rip next turn. God damn this deck. Ugh. That's so vomit-inducing. Just like kept a 4-card hand, missed their land drop on one, fucking destroyed us. It is such a terrible, sad, scary world in which the Liliana the Veil deck has a... Oh, I want the Dismember and not this cast down. Where the Liliana the Veil deck has a bad Bogles matchup. It is a scary, scary realm to live in, chat. I'm gonna keep this. I have a Pulse to tag a Leyline, and I have a Liliana the Veil. I don't have enough black mana yet, but I have the Serum Visions to dig to us. By and large, I don't think this deck's Bogle matchup is terrible. I think sometimes you run a little bit bad, and that's just a symptom of it, and it's okay. It's okay to run a little bit bad sometimes. I'm gonna go top here, I think. And then next turn we can go Shock, Breeding Pool, cast Inquisition, cast Serum Visions, like draw the Golgari Charm. I think Golgari Charm's just like pretty decent in Modern in general. I think if you're playing a green-black X deck, you should definitely have at least one. I just take Path to Exile here, right? Because I want them to not be able to kill whatever threat I have when I eventually draw it. Oh, I guess I could have done that. This is really easy, right? Just gonna go bottom, top. Maybe it was right to just draw the charm and kill their thing. Maybe, I don't know. There's no guarantee they have the thing, right? We drew the Inquisition from the from the thing. I didn't have the Inquisition on turn 1. Or I only had the Inquisition on turn 1 because I drew the Serum Visions. Play my card that's good when you don't have Leyline. Because, of course, I have 2 Leyline answers this game, so I don't have Leyline. Alright, so we get to snap Serum Visions here. I'm gonna snap Serum Visions, and then I think I'm discarding my Forest here. Good. Good clean living. Good clean living. Hope everybody's living half as clean as that Bogle's opponent. Whew! That first game was a little brutal. Or that second game was the second one, right? Where they missed their land drop? Was not... It was pretty impressive, to be honest, the fact that we lost that. I love my Baku visions. Look, chat. Look, chat. I'm not the one that asked someone to detail this artwork, but whoever did, it's their fault that I get to call that card that, okay? That's all I'm saying. Thanks for the game's high-speed run. Basic Plains. Basic Plains. Fetch Watery Grave here and cast Inquisition and see what's up. Cannot unsee. Whoever approved this artwork is probably the same one that designed the Amonkhet card frame. So I think I just take the negate here. And then we plan to stick the Liliana aggressively because we have Abrupt Decay to protect her from, like, Detention Sphere. It's a decent pull, too. 50 Shades of Jace. Because they're straight blue-white and not Jeskai, I get to be pretty aggressive with my health total here, which is nice. You weren't planning on casting those spells this game, right, opponent? MTGO has it right here. I literally have a thing here that shows the cards that are in my opponent's hand. They're literally right here, and I'm crossing them out as we play. So Fatal Push is really bad. Tireless Tracker is really good. I'm going to keep Tireless Tracker, especially because, like, we drew this Thoughtseize. So next turn, I can go Serum Visions looking for our land plus Thoughtseize them. Sure. How do you play the Token Druid deck? Against decks that have sweepers, don't play out your token producer until you have the card that gives them Death Rattle, make a new dude, and then you untap and combo kill them in one turn, basically. These cards are great. Yeah, get your spells. Put the dukes up, opponent. I'm coming for you. Put the dukes up. This Thoughtseize could miss. Ye of little faith. Yeah, that's probably fine, Pythrian. Is my wife here? It sounds like there's someone upstairs. Maybe she worked from home after she brought me lunch. I thought she went back out. At least I hope that's my wife and not a burglar upstairs. Call 911. So we're going to play our Blooming Marsh next turn and cast our Liliana the Veil. We can start ticking her up. Then the following turn, we'll get to play Tireless Tracker and play the fetch land on top. I mean, there's definitely someone in the house. Blue-white X control is always popular on Magic Online because people love the idea of playing these decks even when they're not very good. Live burglary, the stream has it all. I aim to please, really. Aim to please. I think Death Shadow is okay, but I think its reign as like the best deck in the format is well over, so it's not nearly as popular as it once was. Yeah, I think Jeskai is fine. I think straight blue white's a little mediocre, but just Jeskai is fine. We got you, Steric. We got you. Come on, opponent. Come back. So we're going to bin the cast down because Dismember can kill a Gideon. So they have basic planes, then one card I don't know, which means I'm sure I'm about to get Cryptic commanded. God bless. Your opponent is upstairs listening to what you play. Ooh, they hit Logic Knot. Okay. Fair. I have to kill that this turn, unfortunately. It's going to flip next turn otherwise. I'm going to hold this fetch land because I want to draw 2 cards with this Tireless Tracker. There's no guarantee we draw a land next turn. That's actually a good draw because it covers our ass against Teferi. I think Esper Gifts is kind of slow and clunky. I think casting a 4-mana card in Modern that doesn't immediately win you the game is kind of awkward. And I think casting on Burial Rites for a fatty often isn't good enough to win the game in Modern. Opponent kept a mediocre hand and is getting thoroughly punished for it. Just like our discard, just like put them pretty deep in the ground. They don't find a removal spell for this tracker. He's going to continue digging their grave. I think Cast Down is fine. I think if your deck has black mana in it and can't make red mana to cast Terminate, Cast Down is the best non-fatal push removal spell right now. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's fine. I fetched on Upkeep because it gave them the least amount of time to draw an answer to respond to Tireless Tracker with. Yeah, he's gone. You got him. We might die to the Celestial Colonnade. I guess I have Dismember. I think Dismember has a ceiling on how many you consistently play in a deck that's especially a mid-range deck. 3-mana removal is really expensive in Modern, and 3-mana removal is expensive in Modern, and you can only afford to play so many Dismembers as 1 or 2 mana spells. I think I actually want to cast this down rather than Dismember it, because if my opponent draws a Lad Chad, I would prefer to be able to Dismember that. Although I guess I could Maelstrom Pulse that. You want to cast down when your opponent enters combat before they declare attackers, because this way if my opponent has a counterspell, they have to tap their Colonnade to cast it. It's an okay draw. They don't usually play a lot of Snapcaster Mages, but they often play non-zero amount. A 1-mana spell with multi-kicker, gain 2 life. It's something. I think it's actually one of the more obnoxious card designs in Modern. Just like the Phyrexian mana spells in general are pretty obnoxious. Man, think twice, huh? There's no point in eating their think twice. If I go to eat their think twice, they'll just flash it back in response. So really no value in doing that. I'm going to start taking other cards out of their discard pile, but I don't want them to be able to snap back later. I'm going to leave that uncracked because I have another tracker. Speaking of cards in their discard pile. Just cycling this seems good for us. I think I'm supposed to play this Tarmogoyf. Like just a grizzly bear isn't good enough for a clock, so this is a 3-turn clock, so Terminus me, I guess. Or I think of the Phyrexian mana on Pod. I think Pod primarily gets played in green decks anyways, which makes the Phyrexian mana on it far less offensive than it could be otherwise. Yep. It would be worse, wouldn't it, if it actually just cost 3? It's a funny way to look at it. It's a decent draw, because it means if we get Terminus or whatever here, we have a follow-up threat. I'm just pulsing this because it's worth getting to pressure my opponent extra. Like, even if they don't have a path, I want to make sure I'm getting to kill them very quickly here. What do I think is the strongest Jace deck in the format? I don't know. Most of the Jace decks aren't very good. I think Teferi's just better than Jace in every deck that can cast him. I think it's the fact that it breaks the color pie. The fact that you get to pay less for the spells kind of just makes them modal with the downside. I think the fact that they break the color pie is the biggest offense about them. Alright, so the fact that they did that says to me that they probably don't have a sweeper. So I'm going to go ahead and jam this Grim Flayer. No, I think Jeskai Control is actually good. I think Jeskai Control was good before Teferi, especially with the Nahiri package. I haven't played Jeskai with the new package yet, but I have to imagine it's pretty reasonable. All right, speaking of, here's the hero of Dominaria himself. And I think I'm just going to burn another Maelstrom Pulse on this, again, for the same reason as last time, that I just want to make sure I'm applying as much pressure as possible directly to my opponent's health total here. Let's do this before anything happens. If opponent has like Cryptic Command, counter your spell, tap your team, we could be in a bad spot here. But otherwise, we're getting this off the table, and then we're hitting them for 6 and getting to set our library up with Grim Flayer, which is nice. Yep. I think we're about to get buried at this point. This is exactly the type of deck that we're playing is exactly the type of deck that the opponent deck speed up on. Like when you're in these fair mirrors being slightly bigger and slower than your opponent is generally good. So like the opponent's deck tends to be pretty medium against like the faster spell-based combo decks because they can't apply pressure, but our deck has a hard time applying enough pressure to pressure them. Here's hoping that their plan here is to block with Celestial Colonnade. I think playing around explicitly Cryptic Command there is playing scared. My opponent had 2 draws to find that card. I think saying that I should have played around Cryptic Command is like being pretty results based. I don't think it's right to play around Cryptic Command there. Yeah, I think a lot of those matchups are pretty good for the Token Druid deck, Jet. Oh, you're saying I should move to combat but not necessarily attack. Yeah, that's probably fair. Just like attack them if they let me get to combat and then pulse after. I should have left more green up there probably. Honestly, at this point, we're up three minutes on clock. This game is over, but I'm going to play to time my opponent out at this point. Eat their Cryptic Command here. So I'm going to make my opponent kill me at this point, just so I get to eat all the minutes off their clock. It's probably going to take them a while to kill me, especially with this Dismember for the Colonnade. Like, the time it's going to take me to make my decisions in the remainder of this game is going to be much less than the time it's going to take my opponent to make their game decisions and actions. Yep. And again, you want to Dismember when this thing enters combat before it gets declared as attacker, so that way if they need it to cast a counter spell, it doesn't get to attack. Like, using Teferi and Jace every turn is not a small amount of game actions. There are lots of people that produce a lot of great standard content. We stream standard on the channel. It didn't do all that great. The market's really pretty saturated. Yeah, that's a lot of basic planes, huh? Like, usually, like, 2, sometimes 3 is okay, but, like, that's 5. And when I realized that I could no longer win this game, we were up 3 minutes. Now we're up 4.5 minutes. This is game 1. If this was game 2, I probably would just concede because the clock wouldn't matter. But like getting them below 14 could be super relevant here. Especially if we play all 3 games. Yeah, but being up more on time, especially in a game like this where I'm not really being forced to make decisions, allows me to what's the word I want to say? It allows me to have more time to think later in future matches when I like actually need the time to think. Look, I'm gonna let my opponent have their fun. I'm gonna let them brainstorm with their Teferi emblem. I'm gonna let them click on my things. Go ahead. Click on my things, opponent. Yeah, if they run out of time during game 2, they lose the match. So. So that is how Magic Online works for people who aren't familiar. So if my opponent's clock hits 0, it doesn't matter what game we're playing and what game we're in, they just lose the match. Also, like, I get to, like, Inquisition them here and take some information with me. They have Verdict. They have another Teferi. They're still not auto-passing here. I mean, people that are I feel like are slow players always say, I can't play control. It's not fair. It takes me too much time. I never time out while I'm playing a control deck. Like, you just have to play quickly. And you have to use your auto pass hotkeys well. Like, you're not getting punished for playing control. You're getting punished for being a slow Magic player, or a slow MTGO player, more specifically. No, I think they had 25 minutes to play the match and they should lose when they're out of time. I think that's more than fair. I think if they take 25 minutes of my time and can't win in that time period, that's their fault. I think with Teferi and Jaces and multiple Teferis and Terminus too, I want these Disdainful Strokes. I don't want this. I don't want these Fatal Pushes or this Cast Down. I'm pretty sure I don't want these Spell Bombs. I think Last Hope is good because she has an ultimate that she threatens that they have to deal with. I have Fulminators that kill Colonnade. Maybe this many Abrupt Decays aren't good. I probably want like 3 ways to kill Colonnade, right? Because I don't think Spellbomb is very good. I think tagging their Snapcaster Mages is really minimal. I think people really overvalue the upside of like cantripping this card. I'm really not a fan of Spellbombs and Grim Flayer in these decks. I think they're awkward and clunky in Modern's a format where you really don't have time to leverage that stuff. Even in these matchups, like, my mana is tied up a lot of the time. We saw almost their entire deck and they didn't have any Gideons. So I think I'd rather just have the Fatal Push. No, I think the fact that, like, we saw most of their deck that game and they didn't have Gideon means I'm not going to play around it. Like, they were through, what, 30 cards? Hey, Vox with the 5-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the continued support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. They could have like 4 mana Gideon in their sideboard, but if they're playing 3 mana Lad Chad, Gideon, whatever his name is, champion of something or other, that's usually a main deck card. No, I'd rather keep Inquisition for the mana efficiency, I think. They both miss their important Planeswalkers, which sucks, but I think the mana efficiency is important. Like, being able to go, like, Inquisition, strip a Logic Knot into Liliana on 4 is important. Hey, Vias, thank you for the 3-month resubscription. A quarter of a year, welcome back. Pretty easy mulligan that last hand. Not only was it heavy on lands, but the fact that it was a land-heavy hand that also had a lot of basics in the opener is really bad. You want your basics in your deck against a Field of Ruin Path to Exile deck, so that way you can continue getting advantage from their things as the game goes along. Just gonna stick this Tarmogoyf, I think. I guess maybe you could make an argument for, like, fetch, shock, land, tap, play Inquisition this turn. And, like, if I draw a land, I could snap Inquisition the next turn. But I kind of like getting the Tarmogoyf down here, because if my opponent doesn't deal with it, I get to start holding up Countersquall, which is nice. This does give them a window to play Search for Azcanta, though. I guess I can Maelstrom Pulse that, though. Which is good for us. Maybe I'm just supposed to Pulse it since I drew a land. Wow, their hand's really clunky. I guess they're going to have Search for Azcanta to flip, though. I think I just want to take their Opt here. I'm going to take their Opt. I'm going to do this. I'm going to crack them here. And then if they want to play Timely next turn, I can counterscroll them. It's also possible I should punch through Negate so I can Maelstrom Pulse the Search for Azcanta easier next turn. Maybe my sequencing there was wrong and I should have... Well, that's pretty good. Means they're not making a land drop this turn, though, which is good for me. Oh, I should have cracked this fetch after this went into my deck, right? Probably. Oh, I did have Counter Squall up. So I'm in a different place. I didn't make the good play because I wasn't thinking about it. Naom 987. I even said we're going to pass with Counter Squall up and counter their Timely Reinforcements. It depends on what their cards are. Like, Timely Reinforcements isn't that scary of a card. So, like, it's really not taking something that's that important, by and large, is what it comes down to. Yeah, I totally should have just... We'd be in a really good spot if I'd have taken their... If I'd have countered their Terminus, we'd be beating them down. 10 out of 10 should have happened. Yeah, Lily clears Timely nicely, which is true. I do have Squall up now. Saving the Squall is good because it tags Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is nice. Just supposed to let this happen. So they have Dispel, Entreat Jace. And then I'm pretty sure I just wait to play this Liliana until I have Counter Squall up. I think that there were probably a lot of decks played at the Pro Tour, and if the decks didn't put up results, it's probably because they weren't very good. Just gonna trade this off here, clear these tokens up ASAP. Huh. I definitely don't want this. Do I not want that? That might actually be okay. Maybe I'm just going top here, actually. I think I'm just going top. I kind of want lands for this tracker, but, like, Goyf into Disdainful Stroke is pretty appealing. Is there a wailing sound in the background? My computer definitely has a fan in it, so it doesn't overheat. But it's definitely not any louder or quieter than it normally is. Oh, well, they can get rid of it by attacking with this Colonnade if they run off a bunch of lands in a row here. They don't run off a land this turn, though. It's going to take them 2 hits, which is great for us. They could also have Detention Sphere. Is that an Entreat for 1? Yep. Alright, this is lethal in 3, which is nice. The burglar rolled his ankle upstairs. He's lying in pain. Hogland, why won't you help the burglar? Why do you hate people? I think I'm just going to keep pushing up here. There's no reason not just keep buying time, I think. I'm not going to play either of my 3 mana cards. Just want to hold this Disdainful Stroke up, I think, in the face of counter magic. Opt, sure. You can also counter a Terminus here if they hit one. Am I supposed to just Fulminator them now? Nah, I can just counter a Teferi or a Jace here. Just counter a Teferi or a Jace. You can click in response to the Miracle Trigger before your opponent is able to cast the spell and put it on the stack. And you can take the card out of their hand and then they can't cast it. Second Goy's not a bad draw. They need to hit like exactly Supreme Verdict to take all these off the table. All right. So, in spite of missing a counterspell and a Terminus, everything ended up working out there. And I'm just going to run it back. Pretty happy with the card choices that we have here. We're 1-1 in this league. We conceded a match to Ponza because a deck like this is never beating a bunch of Blood Moons and Stone Rains. And we beat Jeskai, and we're currently heading to Game 3 against this deck. You can always find out what decks we've played by looking at my YouTube channel. You can find out what decks we've played and are planning on playing today by looking at the donation queue. You can also look at what decks we're planning on playing in the future by looking at the donation queue. I just don't think Nihil Spellbomb is that good, and I like all of the cards in my deck. And, like, sideboarding is a one-to-one process, so in order to bring something in, I have to cut something. I think this hand's okay. I don't know, I guess, like, playing Liliana on 3 and then I'm untapping and playing Jace isn't very good. I think I want to mulligan this. We literally played Nathanworks Marvel deck today on stream. You should watch those videos on YouTube later tonight and check my segment at the end for the wrap up on my thoughts on the archetype. Oh, my basic island Grim Flayer deck. Oh, my basic island Grim Flayer deck. Never forget, chat. If you never mulligan, you'll never lose a game because you mulligan to 5. Nope, all my videos get published at the end of the day. If you're a subscriber, you can watch the archive on YouTube, on Twitch right away now. You can watch the past of this VOD, otherwise I'll publish it tonight when I'm done. It's a pretty easy search for Ascan to take here. It's our source of card advantage. Yeah, for those playing bingo at home, that was close 7 and done, keepable 6, yes. Then bingo, God bless. Last hope. probably isn't good enough here. I think I'm just gonna go bottom here. I'd kind of like to like hit another discard spell, so I go like discard spell into Tarmogoyf next turn, so that way I can not deal with this Attention Sphere. You could also argue that maybe I should just like wait until keep that 4th land. God, that's great. Perfect. Just rewarded. Say you could argue that I'm supposed to keep the 4th land because they can just negate this here. I think if they negate this, I just pass back because I really don't want them to slam Jace. And if I draw a 4th land, I can play Tarmogoyf plus hold a counterspell up. Alright, I think with that hand, I'm just going to rip their Detention Sphere out here and then slam this Tarmogoyf. It's like your move, Yugi boy. They do get to flashback think twice, which is kind of scary. I think I just go bottom here. I think I just want lands at this point, right? Thoughts? I think I just want lands. Yeah. Yeah, I just want lands. Probably not. I think it's pretty hard to get 4-mana creatures consistently. I think the hoops you have to jump through just probably aren't worthwhile. The problem is I don't want to tap out for Grim Flayer and not have a counterspell up here. Like, I have this threat in play, so like if I had 4 lands already, I think the Grim Flayer is an easy keep, but like I'm not playing the Grim Flayer until I get a 4th land with the way my hand is, and keeping the Grim Flayer means that I'm not going to have a 4th land until much later. Just like same thing here. Just gonna go ahead and attack them. Just keep swinging, just keep swinging, just keep swinging. Doot, doot, doot. All right, we really want to draw a land so we can have Squall plus Stroke up here. God bless. That gives us Squall plus Stroke, yep. That's funny, there actually isn't an instant in any of the bins yet. So we're down to 10 here. That means if we get an instant in the bin this turn cycle with the counter Squall, we could potentially have a 2-turn clock here. Cryptic Command with negate up. Part of me wants to cast a spell just to use my mana here, but another part of me thinks it's just better to wait. I think that's probably ideal. Making them burn the negate might have been okay, though. Because, like, now, if I slam this Tarmogoyf, they can, like, slam a thing on their turn plus have negate to protect it. If they fight over this, I'm just going to let it happen. It's like if they have a Cryptic Command of their own here. Although I guess if they like, snap Cryptic Command, I'm just letting it happen. Yeah, that feels bad. They have this Field of Ruin to check my Creeping Tar Pit as well here. So I'm not sure that I'm not sure if I'm supposed to fight over the Tarmogoyf a little bit more there, perhaps. Yeah, maybe the first bounce I should have fought to make them burn to the negate, because once they're through the negate, the counter Squall gets better. I do get to stick a Nissa next turn now, though. Or probably Fulminator Mage, since I know they have negate. I don't know, they have enough mana, and knowing they have the negate in their hand might just mean that, like, because, like, if they have a Teferi or a Jace here, we're kind of just, like, up shit creek without a paddle, right? Because, like, I know that they still have this negate in their hand. So, like, if they cash in their threat, they have their negate to protect it because I don't have enough mana to keep up double counterspell here. I think it was right to not fight over the Cryptic Command that was countering my Tarmogoyf, but I think it was wrong to not fight over the other one initially. The Vendilion click, sure. I should have fought over the first one when I had 4 mana up and they were Cryptic bouncing my Tarmogoyf. I should have Disdainful Stroked that one, and then they would have negated my Stroke, and then I would have just, like, let that happen and bounced the Goyf, and then I would have had the Counter Squall in my hand still, and they'd have the negate out of their hand. So at this point, if they don't take the Liliana the Veil, we're going to play her and Edict them. They took my Counter Squall. Okay. Huh. Alright, well, let's play this. It's Lina negate, I assume. Yeah, because I could have traded the Stroke for the negate. Fuck, they drew a mana leak. That's really good. So their hand is negate plus entreat right now. This is going to be an entreat for 2 that we're not going to be able to deal with. Just entreat for 1, entreat for 2. Yep. I need to draw exactly Maelstrom Pulse here. I have 2 of those in my deck, 42 cards. I'll make them burn their negate here. They have 1 card in their hand that I don't know. I'm going to play this Goyf here during their upkeep. I'm going to Golgari Charm, give -1/-1. This means if I can find any piece of spot removal here, I get to get another extra turn out of it. I don't know any of the cards in their hand currently. They have 2 cards. We are dead on board currently. Yeah. Yep. This style of matchup is also why I decided that I was going to play something sweet like Jeskai Ascendancy instead of Black-Green Midrange this weekend at the 5K in Chicago. Feel like in addition to just getting like randomly blood mooned out of enough games, you also like are enough of a dog to these bigger control decks that are just like far greedier than you that would just like rather play something sweet rather than trying to play something like good. Like, I think these archetypes are fine, don't get me wrong, I just feel like they don't get enough free wins to warrant playing them over something that's like incredibly sweet like the Ascendancy deck. That first match did say 0-1. Our opponent set up a turn 2 Blood Moon, and then we Inquisitioned them, and they had 2 turn 2 Blood Moons. This archetype just, like, never beats Ponza. Mono, white, Poop Bears. Guess I just take Restoration Angel here. No, the 5K will not have any video coverage. I don't think they do written stuff either. Nerd Rage Gaming is running the 5K in Chicago. I think I'm just passing the turn here because I would like to crack my fetch land and Fatal Push Thalia Heretic Cathar this turn. I don't have another way to enable Delirium otherwise, and I can't cast down Thalia because she's a legend. Yeah, it's a good brand name for sure. Definitely a very reasonable brand name. Funny. Easy to remember. Perfect. Fatal push you. Play my 4/5s. If they want to path my 4/5, they get to get a land, which is decent for me because I'm missing a land drop here. Play out my rampant growth, right? There's also a good chance, like, if they miss a land drop here, like, they don't path me right away, especially with me missing a land drop. And, like, my Goyf gets to start getting some beatdowns in here, which is nice for us. Don't feed the trolls, chat. I just timed them out. Just ignore the silly comment. We don't actually know if they're playing Eldrazi yet. We haven't seen anything out of them that implies colorless. These are just like cards that Poop Bears tends to play. Like they play a utility land like this on occasion. Probably fetch Breeding Pool with this. I just always err on the side of troll because this is the internet. Can get hosed, right? Look, Blood Moon only punishes greedy players, chat. Only punishes greedy players. Are they not burning a path on my Charmargoyf this turn? Maybe they just, like, don't want to path till my upkeep. We did see a Restoration Angel. We took that with a Thoughtseize earlier. We definitely took a Restoration Angel with a Thoughtseize earlier. They do have some Squidbillies, it would seem. So that one, that's a kill sight on scene right there. We're actually being in a pretty decent position here, right? Like we're gonna go ahead and pulse this. And I'll have a cast down for later. They're probably gonna have to chump block this Tarmogoyf here. Otherwise they go to 3. It's probably not a life total they want to go to offhand. Like, because they have this Horizon Canopy too that's dinging them, so they're going to 7 here. And they have this Horizon Canopy working on their health total too. We're a little bit low ourselves, but we have like this cast out and this Scavenging Ooze to protect ourselves a bit. Although I guess they have a path to exile to kill my Tarmogoyf here still, but if they give us more mana to work with, that also gives us more flexibility. I'm just applying my timeouts consistently. If you wanna come in and say that a deck's a bad version of something else, you need to explain why. You need to say it's a bad version because, and then explain to me what about what you're seeing in front of you makes it a bad version. Flickerwisp and Displacer are very good together, and like my opponent's setting themselves up well to win this race now. I really want to draw an untapped land here, so that way we can cast down and Scavenging Ooze this turn ideally. It's a little late. Yeah, I think we're dead. think we're dead. It's actually why the complimentary timeout meme started, because we hand out a lot of actual timeouts from people saying things like that. It does look like we're losing to Poop Bears. To be fair, like, we're losing to the more reasonable cards out of Poop Bears, right? Like, we're not dying to Leonin Arbiters. We're, like, dying to, like, Flicker Wisps and Restoration Angels, which are, like, reasonable Magic cards. Like, 3 power flying threats being good is part of the reason why, like, humans is good, right? It's what makes Mantis Rider powerful. So I assume they're going to go end step, cast Restoration Angel, blink Flicker Wisp, take my Charmagoyf here. Then they'll have lethal in play. The Scavenging Ooze is going to be decent here, though. Not only does it get us out of their lethal range, but it puts a threat into play that threatens to kill them next turn. Creeping Turpet was also a decent draw there. Yeah, the opponent, I agree. The opponent used the resources that they had this game exceedingly well. The fuck is this? Oh, Chef at Dunes is lethal. Yeah, Chef at Dunes is lethal. Yeah, good game. I missed that one. I think context is everything, so you can't say is a card well positioned while ignoring the context. That defeats the purpose of evaluating Magic cards. It's like saying, is Brainstorm a good card? And then you don't tell me that it's in a format without fetch lands. So like the fact that it's in a format without fetch lands makes Brainstorm a much worse Magic the Gathering card. It's like borderline unplayable in a format without fetch lands. So like context is everything in a game like Magic the Gathering. And honestly, a lot of people miss that fact a lot of the time. Like the fact that like power level is contextual means that like that's why cards like Jace are okay in Modern and cards like Bloodbraid Elf are okay in Modern. Like, yes, these cards are powerful, but like they're not more powerful than the other things we're already doing in this format. Yeah, and honestly, like, in the context of the cards that you have, like, Impulse was better than Brainstorm. Brainstorm is played a little bit. They have fetch lands there, but they're much worse than the other fetch lands. It's played less than Preordain even, I believe. I just want to take this deck. Oh, I have to laugh because if I didn't, I'd cry. No, Ponder's the best cantrip in Pauper, I think. Interesting that they're just cracking their fetch there. Or cracking their clue, sorry. How many lands are in this deck? 22? Yeah. So, playing this Sultai variation, it's actually kind of funny. So, like, for those that don't watch the stream constantly, the green-black rock deck that I spent a lot of time tuning and testing, actually started from a Sultai variation that someone had submitted, because I really just feel like the blue cards that this deck plays aren't meaningful in the power level that they add to the deck. I feel like the small amounts that we gain from adding blue to our mana base just aren't worth it for not only the damage that you take from your mana base added, and not only from the mana base that you take added, but also like you want to do cute things like trim lands to play Serum Visions, and in reality I'd like to just be making land drops more often than not. I also think, and I mentioned this during the league, that I think this Nihil Spellbomb Grim Flayer, I think people think these cards are less free in these archetypes than they actually are, and I think by and large they cost you a lot more than you think they cost you. Just like Modern's a format that's very much about spending your mana every turn, so like spending 2 mana to just cantrip, even though you're gaining the small upside of getting to nuke their graveyard occasionally, I think that's just not worthwhile in the Modern format. Anyway, while I reboot Magic Online, I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for joining us here. My name is Jeff Hogan, a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full-time here. You can also support my content by supporting some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your Magic cards into other cards or cash direct with other players. There's no haggling, they just take 1% fee off the top. Mac Weldon provides premium men's clothing using code Jeff Hogan at bit.ly/HugoClothes. You can save 20% on your first order of premium t-shirts, polos, shorts, underwear, socks, all sorts of great stuff there. And of course, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin Nivik, and all of y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I appreciate it. There's a lot of different streams you could be watching, so thanks for hanging out here while we play some Modern today. I use Bodhi Linux. It's a project that I help contribute to. I wasn't being a troll about Mono Bluetron. I wanted to know what your thoughts are, and I haven't had any problems. Okay, so again, just like that, it feels strong against humans because here's why it feels bad against humans. It doesn't have a way to consistently contain the board. It doesn't have a way to consistently win the game while it's not containing the board. It doesn't have very efficient removal. Cards like Spatial Contortion and Dismember aren't quite good enough in Modern on average in my experience. It doesn't have a way to consistently assemble Tron like Green Tron does because it lacks redundancy. So again, if you wanna go against the grain and say, hey, you think this, you want to disagree and say, hey, I think this archetype that's generally considered like tier 4 or worse is actually pretty good. You need to explain yourself and tell me why you think it's good. We did actually, so we had a cut the line donation from Jet, so we're gonna go ahead and play Kiki Sahili here. This is a deck list I tweeted out the other night. Actually liked this archetype a lot the last time we played it. It's a more combo focused. You want the shitty Kiki art? This is the bad Kiki art, Jet. Oh no, you're a finger pointing Kiki? I don't know if we can get along anymore, Jet. I don't know if we can continue being associated. I don't know if this is okay. The goblin is the size of a dragon. What if the dragon's the size of the goblin? What if that's the, what if it's a tiny dragon? Star City Games, Channel Fireball, send him a buy list. Meatball Kiki forever. He's over a mountain, Jeff. Maybe it's a molehill. How do you know it's a mountain? Am I happy with this mana base? I think I was happy with this mana base last time we played it. I looked at the spells in this deck. There's 2 breeding pools. There's 2 sacred foundries. How many green sources are in this mana base? There probably shouldn't be a Raging Ravine in this mana base, huh? There probably shouldn't be a Raging Ravine. I feel like we're not killing people by attacking enough for the Raging Ravine to be good enough. Ooze is just main deckable graveyard hate. Ooze is just main deckable. How many non-green sources do I have? These are non-green lands. This is 18 green sources. That's probably fine. It's probably fine. I'm gonna add another Horizon Canopy here. I'll update the list again in a second. I didn't really think about the mana base last time, so I want to do that real quick. Add a Canopy, and I'm gonna swap this Breeding Pool for a Steam Vents, I think. So there's a bunch of people asking questions in chat about this versus the Cobra Sahili variation that plays a bunch of Lotus Cobras. The answer is I don't know, chat. That's the answer. We played 5 matches with this variation last time. I've played dozens of matches with the other one. The part of the reason why I put down the other variation is because it just felt like the draws that it had with Cobra and Rallier just weren't good enough to keep up with the rest of Modern. And so it didn't feel like it was worth continuing to explore. This variation, the last time we played it, I was pretty pleasantly surprised how quickly and consistently we were comboing not only with the access to 4 Felidar Guardians, but also Phantasmal Images to get more redundant Felidar Guardians, as well as access to Kiki-Jiki alongside Evolution. So I'm interested in playing this configuration again and seeing how it feels. Because the best way you can learn is by experience and practice. So I'm going to play it another 5 matches here since chat bumped it up, and we'll see how we feel at the end of it. Is there any Birds of Paradise deck you won't play? Yeah, Green-White Value Town. That deck is rancid. It's really, really bad.